huge news in the fashion world this week. Stony Clover Lane debuted an entire collection at Target. But is Stony Clover Lane colorful Ray Dunn?
No.
Someone said this and now I am beside myself. Yes, it's colorful, but they do make label patches that say things like travel and school and makeup for you to put on certain bags. So the question is it Ray Dunn just with colors? I'm leaning towards no, because to me, a bag that contains things that you're trying to organize saying something like makeup is helpful. In Ray Dunn's case, a toaster that says toaster is moronic.
No, not me toaster. That cost me $32.50.
Debate in the comments if Stony Clover Lane is as chuggy as Ray Dunn. Notice how no one was questioning Stony Clover Lane until they made a Target collab a few days ago. The absolute kiss of death for any luxury brand. Now you feel cheap and too excessive.
This isn't over until I say it's over.
All right, this is what we're actually talking about on the show today, and it's definitely a 5 Orange Juicy setup. We're starting off with Elon Musk becoming the largest shareholder at Twitter. What does that mean for us? Then Cole Sprouse calls out Disney in a new interview revealing the over-sexualization and toxicity of being a child star there. Is Chris Rock pro-life? And 3 huge Kardashian stories we need to talk about immediately. I'm AlexClark, and this is POPlitics. I think all conservatives feel as though we just won a huge victory against big tech this week. Elon Musk bought a 9.2% stake in Twitter, becoming the largest shareholder in the social media company, and will be joining Twitter's board of directors. So, you know what this means, don't you?
Oh my God. Look at that. Holy smokes, man.
Now, it's not a guarantee President Trump will be back on Twitter yet, but the chances at this point are definitely better than they've ever been.
Turn the lights on.
No, get those lights off.
You know who else has a good chance of being back on Twitter? Charlie Kirk, Tucker Carlson, and the Babylon Bee, who have been locked out now for weeks after correctly stating that there are only 2 genders.
What do you think I have down there, a gnome?
Everyone in tech knows that Elon Musk has never been a passive participant in anything he's ever been a part of. If he is in something, he is in it. And I think that things are finally looking up for conservatives who have been treated completely unfairly on the platform.
It's a miracle. It's really a sort of a miracle.
Did you grow up watching The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody on Disney Channel?
Boy, those skinny rich people can really chow down.
Dylan and Cole Sprouse, who played Zack and Cody, are all grown up now, and Cole just spilled all to the New York Times about the dangers of fame as a child star and how Disney treated their female child stars in particular.
How do you lose a woman?
You forget to cherish her.
Cole said, when we talk about child stars going nuts, what we're not actually talking about is how fame is a trauma. The young women on Disney Channel were so heavily sexualized from such an earlier age than my brother and I that there's absolutely no way that we could compare our experiences. My brother and I used to get quite a bit of, oh, you made it out, oh, you're unscathed. No.
Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everybody makes mistakes.
Cole went on to graduate from New York University with a degree in archaeology, planning on quitting acting altogether. But he promised to do one more round of auditions, and that's when he ended up booking the role of Jughead Jones on Riverdale.
In case you haven't noticed, I'm weird. I'm a weirdo. I don't fit in, and I don't want to fit in.
Cole said, "I started acting when I was so young that I hadn't actually attempted as an adult to think about if I really enjoyed performance. To be quite honest, as I've now gone through a second big round of this fame game as an adult, I've noticed the same psychological effects that fame yields upon a group of young adults as I did when I was a child."
I used to like this when I did it for love. Now I'm doing it for money and I feel dirty.
It's probably also important to note that Disney Channel hired convicted pedophile Brian Peck to work on The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody in 2006 and 2007, despite being convicted of sex crimes against a boy under 16 just 2 years earlier. So anyways, nothing to see here, Disney. Just keep talking about how unfair it is that you can't teach kindergartners about sex in Florida.
Your priorities are all out of whack.
Is comedian Chris Rock pro-life? He's on tour right now, and one of the jokes he made in Atlantic City Saturday night was about abortion. What's interesting is he mocked the idea of a safe abortion, saying that a safe abortion is an abortion where only one person dies, I guess?
He's right.
Even though Chris is right that there is no such thing as a safe abortion, he isn't pro-life. In fact, a few minutes later in the same set, he joked that if the baby's father refuses to be in your life and you would be forced to pay for abortion yourself, then you should get an abortion. He almost had it, but I guess Will didn't slap any sense into him. Let's do a little Kardashian Korner today because I have 3 Kardashian-esque stories we need to discuss because they're all pretty huge.
That's what she said.
For starters, Kanye has now decided to walk away from his headlining spot on the Coachella lineup this year. Apparently, he is wanting to stay out of the public eye since the Kim and Pete drama got pretty heated the last few weeks, and he wants to get help. Word is Coachella will ask The Weeknd to replace him.
I can feel my face when I'm with you.
Speaking of Kim, she just made a super interesting business move that I think is worth mentioning. Kim has now hired iconic supermodels Tyra Banks, Heidi Klum, Alessandra Ambrosio, and Candace Swainpole to pose together for a brand new Skims campaign. This is a big deal because they are all like the OG Victoria's Secret angels, and this really is a statement for Skims right now because Victoria's Secret is going through a huge identity crisis as a brand. They're not really seen as luxury anymore, and everyone kind of thinks they're rapey after what we know about their, ties to Epstein. So for Kim to hire all these OG models to pose together for Skims, it really puts her in the position to say, hey, Skims is now the top bra and underwear brand for women, not VS.
Is that what I think it is? Customers. Customers. Customers, everyone! Customers!
And the last story in Kardashian Korner today is that Kourtney and Travis Barker are officially married. Looks like they did a quickie wedding in Las Vegas with an Elvis priest. For me, elopements, very in, but I could never, ever, ever, ever be down for an Elvis Vegas wedding. I'm sorry if this was you, but Vegas weddings to me are so tacky and gross. I really just don't like Vegas at all, to be honest. That city ain't it for me. Possibly an unpopular opinion, but that's fine. Anyways, I am happy for them.
After the Hard Rock got blacked out, it was like emptiness.
Hope you're ready for a brand new episode of The Spillover tomorrow. Make sure you're subscribed so it automatically downloads for you wherever you get your podcasts. And don't know if you saw this, but if you go to your main feed on Instagram where people's posts pop up, you can click the Instagram logo in the top left corner and then favorites and following. And basically, you can curate a separate feed to look at all your favorite accounts so you don't miss their posts. Make sure that you add POPlitics to that list. Heard this episode? We're discussing in the comments if Stony Clover Lane is chuggy and colorful Ray Dunn, and if Vegas weddings are trashy and tacky. Also, if you're excited about Elon Musk becoming a shareholder of Twitter, DM this episode to one person, tell them, hey, I will still love you, even if you are alone, and hit that save button. We're back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. It's pop culture without the propaganda every single day. I'm AlexClark, and this is POPlitics. Clearly, POPlitics is best served visual, but you can find us anywhere you get your podcasts if you prefer to listen while you're in the car, on your way to work, what have you. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and more. Plus, subscribe to POPlitics on YouTube. And don't forget, make sure you're leaving those 5-star reviews.